Hi, and welcome to the Think Big Summer Workshop presented by Balfour. I'm Cindy Griffith, and today I'm going to show you Encore. Encore is our yearbook creation software. It runs on HTML5, and the really cool thing about it is that it can be used on a laptop, it can be used on a desktop or on a Chromebook, and it runs off of Chrome. So it's really easy to use. It's going to make your life so easy. So if you are a student or a yearbook advisor who wants to be able to create a really cool book and have ease of use, this is the program for you. So I'm going to walk you through Encore. I'm going to show you some examples, and then we're going to create a spread together. And it's, like I said, it's really simple. And I've been doing this for 18 or 19 years now as a yearbook advisor and as a rep. And I'm just so impressed with Encore because it just has so much power. You can do so many things, but it's so easy and streamlined. So let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. The first thing that you'll have to do is log into your Studio Balfour. You will have a username and a password for that. And so I'm logged in right here. Just a quick little bit of information about Studio Balfour. This is where you're going to find all of your information for your yearbook program. And also, if you need any help or if you get stuck, you can click on this education tab right here. And we have a whole bunch of information on here for from like Balfour Yearbooks blog, workshops and events. We have teaching resources for you right here. The publications like the yearbook is over here, and helpful links. We have just a ton of resources here for you as well. And then under Build a Book, you can take a look at your software resources. So for example, if you're interested in getting some help with Encore, just go to Build a Book, and then you're going to click on Encore Resources, and you have the Encore user guide right here, your process mix color swatch chart, that's a PDF, your fonts poster, font guide. These things will help you get your book set up, and there's a bunch of videos here also for you to make your life a little bit easier. So in order to get into Encore, you're going to log into your Studio Balfour, and then there is a button right here that says Launch Encore. So go ahead and click on that button, and it will take you to your Encore login right here. And the first thing that will pop up is your settings setup. And you can just go ahead and skip it if you want, or you can set everything up. So if you're the type of person who wants to make sure that everything's kind of streamlined and set up at the very beginning, that's how I am, that's how I would do it, then you're going to want to start with this, and you can kind of click through this. If you just want to go in and start playing around on the program, then you can hit the skip this for now button. But let me just show this to you before you hit the skip this for now button. You can create your staff accounts right here. You can assign permissions to your staff members by clicking on this Get Started button. You can determine your page deadlines. This will help you set deadlines for your staff. Or you can click down here where you can organize your yearbook. You can assign spreads to your staff. And then this one right here, I would definitely recommend that you start with this, but it's customizing your page properties. So if you've already decided on your theme for the year, if you've decided on fonts and colors, how many columns you're going to use, that kind of stuff, I would definitely click on this, hit Make Changes. You can also modify this within the program, but I really like setting it up ahead of time. It just makes your life a little bit easier down the line because these will be applied to every page as you're working on it. But you can create you could set up your colors, your fonts, columns, and page numbers right here. I'm going to show that to you really quick. But your units and margins, you can say if you're going to be doing your measurements in picas, how many columns you want, what your margins are going to be. The gutter, I like to increase the gutter just a little bit. It's really trendy right now to increase your outside margins as well. So you can increase that right there. That's 5. And then for columns and grids, you can determine how many columns and grids you want. I'm a big fan of having 8 columns with 6 for the gutter. Your fonts are right here. You can set these up. I like to set it up inside of the program as well. If you want to do that, you can, but you decide what you want for your headlines, your subheads, body copy, caption, photo credit, so that the students can just click on that and it moves really quickly. And then stroke, palette, page numbering, all of that can be done right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel to get out of that. So I'll go ahead and skip this for now. And I'll hit the second skip settings setup again, and this will take you to Encore. And as you can see, it's already very simple. I can go down to the bottom. It says pages can also be opened from your timeline. Here's your timeline down here, and you can just hover over the page numbers right here to open one of these pages, or you can open up your pages. I like to go through this one right here, this pages button. This is your photos button for uploading photos or looking at your photos, seeing how many times your photos have been used in the book. This is the library button. This is for templates and like all of the elements that you're going to have in your book. But I'm going to start off, we're going to go through this together, but I'm going to start off with the open pages here button. And you can see that I already have part of a book created already. So this is actually the Winnetonka book, and it's, with the exception of this one right here, but it's just such a beautifully done book. This was also an Encore book, and you can see that these pages are just so clean, and I love the use of white space, the use of color. You can definitely see from the overview, you can see how well they followed their theme. So I'll go back out there so you can see, but you can see their choice of colors. I would imagine that this is one of their thematic colors. They have red and teal and this burgundy, and it's just very clean, but lots of use of white space. I really like this spread right here. This is actually the one that we're going to be recreating in just a moment. But what I like about this spread is that it's clean and simple. It has a really beautiful eyeline right here. And I love the fonts, I love the colors, I love the use of the thematic elements right here. So we're going to go ahead and recreate this one. It's going to be quick and simple, and then you can see just how we can use all of the different elements within Encore. So first of all, the first thing you're going to need to do is upload photos. So I already have the photos for that spread in here. It's under spread, but I'm going to show you how to do this anyway with some example photos. So I'm going to hit browse. I just hit the little plus button down here at the corner, and then I'm going to hit browse so that I can go ahead and grab those pictures. And they're on my desktop under sample photos. And I'm just going to go ahead and select, let's see, I'm going to select all of these, and then I'll hit open. And it'll say uploading 0 out of 54 photos complete. And you're not going to be able to open up these photos or upload these photos unless you type the name of a collection. So I can either add this to a collection that I already have. You can kind of see it right over here. I can add this to, for example, my spread folder, or I can create a new one. So I'm going to go ahead and call this sample photos. I'm going to hit the plus button right here. Now you can see that this is going to be going into my collection of sample photos, and I'm going to hit upload. While that's uploading, I want to mention that your photos need to be in RGB, and they need to be high enough resolution in order to be used at 300 dpi. So it's really important that you upload high quality photos, and just be really careful when you take your photos that if you're bringing them from, and I know that this was really popular this last year because students weren't on campus for an extended period of time, but if you're going to be bringing photos from social media or something like that, just make sure that if you bring it into Photoshop, that you make sure that it is at a high enough resolution to look good in your book. Now that we have the photos uploaded to the site, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the library. So I have a blank spread open right here. I'm going to click on the library, And I'll just show you the Simply Create. There are a bunch. You can click on all coverage, or you can look at all of the Simply Create. These kind of match our theme packages that we have. And I'll go ahead and click on bar none. This is kind of a cute one. And so if you like any of these templates, you can go ahead and just click on it, and you can modify it once it's on your spread. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add to page. I'm going to place it right in the center. And if I hit replace content, if I had anything else on that spread, any boxes, or if I was playing around on that spread, I can go ahead and click replace content, and that will delete everything else that was on the spread and replace it with this new template. Or I can add it to the existing content. Be careful with this one though, because the template will go on top of anything that was there before. So it can get a little bit messy and a little stressful. So I like to just replace the content or start with a blank spread. Also, you can use the font settings from the template default or from your project default. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my project default because I already have fonts selected. I did that earlier on in the setup. And I'll hit apply. And then I'll click out of these. Now, the neat thing about these templates is that you can modify these. So say these color bars don't really match your theme. I can click on it and hit delete. And also, if I wanted to, say, make this picture a little bit bigger, I can go ahead and make this one a little bit smaller, make this one a little bit bigger, and you can see that purple line pops up. I love that. And I can move this down. So I can modify this however I want. That little warning that I just closed out of right there, there's this plus sign right here. Basically what this plus sign means is that if I click on it, it shows me that I have text that's too big for my box. So I can just bring this down and allow that text to fill in the box, and then that little plus sign goes away. And the reason why that happened is because I was using a different font than what was allowed in my template. So I can just bring this right down here, and the little plus sign will go away, and that means that all the text that I typed in this box is showing right now. So again, if you want to just delete sections, you just select them and delete them. If you want to modify the text in there, you can just click on it and modify it as well. So that's how you place a template. I'm going to go ahead and save it. So Command S to save it. And then let's go ahead and go back into a new spread. I'm going to show you how to create one from scratch. Let's go ahead and create this one right here, the Shattered Dreams spread. So 2021. So you can see, I'm just going to click on it really quickly. You can see it's really straightforward. It's easy. I like it because of the space. There's a lot of white space. There's a nice clear eyeline right there, some great graphic elements right here. Now, I have all of these pictures already uploaded into the program, and I'm just going to show you how to place those and place the graphic elements as well. So let's go ahead and just grab a random page here. I'm going to click on this, scroll down here. Let's grab 4243. So here's my blank page. And as you remember, I have these. I'm actually going to click over here too. I have an example. I have the PDF right here. And the only thing that I'm going to be doing with this PDF is I'm going to be grabbing the text from it. So I can just like select this text. If you have your captions or any copy or anything that you have in like a Word document or InDesign or some other document, you can just copy and paste it right into there. So that's all I'm doing with this PDF right now, and it's helping me remember what the spread looks like when I recreate it. So this is the Shattered Dream spread. I'm going to place these images, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to create this as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to place some picture boxes. So I'm just going to start with one, and I can copy this. So I'm going to click with the pointer tool, click on the picture, copy, Command C, and then I'm going to do Command V to paste it. And I have my two picture boxes. I like to just copy the two together, and V, Command V to get the next set right there. And if it's not quite right, this goes over the middle, I can go ahead and move this in as well. Just, they're all selected right now, and I can move them all in or all up so that they're all even. And then I also have, as you can see, I have 4 on the other side over here too. So I'm going to go ahead and take those 4, Command C and Command V to go ahead and paste it onto the other side. And then let's go ahead and just place these pictures really quick. So I have, and I love this so much, I'm going to go over to my spread right here, and I'm just going to select these. So this is picture 1, 2, 3. I already labeled it really well. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these pictures right here. These are my main pictures for those boxes that I just made. I'm going to say add to page, and you can see that my cursor is now loaded. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures right there. Those match the pictures that I have over here. And then the next thing that I need to do is I'm going to do this little headline right here. So Shattered Dreams. I'm going to go ahead and click with my text tool, click and drag. I'm going to write Shattered. And then I'm going to go over here. This is the properties little wrench, and I'm going to find the font. The font that I'm using right now is called Maximo, and I'll choose a font size that I think will work. I'm going to have to select it first. Go down here and change it to Maximo. Let's get it maybe a little bit bigger. So Shattered is the first one, and then the second text box, I'm just going to make an additional text box right here for the word dreams. And this font, I will use Felt That. Make it a little bit bigger. And if I want to go larger than 72, I can also type it in. So if I wanted to go 90, I can do 90. This is really cool too. It says largest font available is 82. That's cool. It's set it to 82. I can either make my text box bigger, or I can just accept it for the size that it is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. And then let's take a look. It says students share their expectations and realities of their summer. I'm just going to copy that text right there, bring it into another text box right here. Shrink that down. Make the font a little bit bigger. And that was actually centered. So I'll show you how to center text right now. So you can do text alignment, go to center, and then I'm just going to click with the arrow tool and move this over here. And then I have this cool little thematic element. I brought that in as an image. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my images and click on my collection for spread. I'm going to go ahead and go down here and click on my 2 thematic elements. I'm going to hit the command button to select both at the same time and add that to the page. The first one, as you can see, the cursor is loaded. I will add the first one there and the second one down here, and I can move them later using the pointer tool. I'm going to just move that right there. And this one's going to come down here under the caption. And then let's go ahead and create the sidebar right here. Now, I really love this sidebar. It just features 4 more students. It looks really cute. It's snow cones versus ice cream. This is really easy to get. So you just interview 4 children and ask them what their favorite summer treat is. So I already have these elements already picked out, so I'm going to go ahead and find those. Go over here to my photos again, click on my collection called Spread, and I'm going to select these 4 students right here, as well as these 2 little images so that I can create that sidebar. I'm going to add it to the page and just click 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 little elements are going to go right there, and then I'll just kind of move this down here. Now, I like having a little bit more space, so I'm going to move this down just a little bit and give them some space. You can see that there's this line that is appearing right here, these little purple dotted lines to help me line stuff up. But another way you can do that is by grabbing this ruler right over here on the side. lining it up at the bottom, and then you can just zoom in. I can see that this one's just a little bit low, so I'm going to use my arrow tools on my keyboard to lift that up. And then I'll come back over here and bring in the snow cone, the ice cream cone. And those are a little high. I'll move the whole thing down in just a bit. And then let's put in, I clicked on the text tool. I'm going to type in snow cones versus, and the versus is capitalized, ice cream. And I'm going to come over here to modify this, the size of the text and the color. So snow cones is going to be in felt that 36. And it says that the largest font available for this is 32. That's fine. I can either make my box bigger or I can just accept the 32, which is fine too. So I'll just go ahead and make it a little bit bigger, take this up to 36. And then all of this together is going to be kind of a teal color. So I'm going to go over to the fill color, change it to teal. Again, I set these up early on. I like this color palette, so I set it up in the settings menu at the very beginning. And then I'm going to take verses. I'm going to change the font for that one to Maximo, font size to 24, and then the color to black. And then I can just kind of move this whole thing. It's going with the pointer tool right now. And then really my last step right here is putting in my captions. So I have captions that are going under here. I have a little bit more text down here at the bottom, and then I have some captions in between these students too. So I'm going to create a text box right here with the text box tool. And I'm going to come over here, grab my text. Change my font to the correct font. Let's do 7. And then once I get the first one in here, I can use that same text box for the rest of them. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it. And then I'll change the text in a second. All right, so I have this little sidebar done. And the nice thing about having this all be grouped is you can just click and drag with your pointer tool, and I can move certain elements. Oops, wrong tool. So I just created a text box by accident. So I can click and drag with the arrow, the pointer tool, and kind of move certain elements over to tighten up the spacing a little bit. And then if I want, I can go over here. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I can go over here and I can select this entire sidebar and move it wherever I want to move it. So if I want to close the spacing a little bit, that's fine too. What I really like is that there's, on this spread, you have some traditional spacing, about 1 pica right here, and then you have some like the macro and the micro. So you have micro spacing right here and then the macro spacing up here. So I like to give that a little bit more space if I can. And that looks pretty cute. And then same thing that I did up here, I'm going to make text boxes right underneath these images. One for the name of the student who's featured in the picture, and then another one right underneath it for the actual caption. And again, I'm going to just do that for one, and then I'll copy and paste for the rest of them. So this one right here. And I'm just going to leave all of these captions the same, since it's I'm sure you're picking up on where that is, where we're going with that. So grab this caption. And I'll just select these, copy, and paste. In the same way that I did that with the images up at the top, I'm going to go ahead and copy that and paste it so that I can just have, it'll just make my life a little bit easier to just copy paste everything. Just don't forget to change the captions once you do that. All right, always save your work. I just did Command S to save my work. I've done a lot so far. So then the last part right here is really just adding the this little part down here. It says under the mask we are. So I'm just going to copy this. It's really cute. I like this thematic element down here. Change the font. Color that one. Oops. Keep doing that. Green. All right, so there you have it. It's all lined up right there. This is supposed to be teal. So when you're all set and you're ready to publish your page, you're going to, again, make sure that you save it. So Command S, or you can go over here to the stack of pancakes and say save. And then you just preview and print. So I like to print the high-res PDF first. And I can take a look at it once it pops up. I can take a look. Sometimes, especially for me, sometimes I just need to see it in a PDF or see it printed out in order to really notice anything glaringly wrong with it. So I see that here's my PDF right here. I'm already noticing a couple of things that I would want to fix if so for example, right here, these don't quite line up. These two don't line up, these pictures. So if you notice something like that, you can just get right out of it and go back onto the spread and edit the spread. I would come over here, take my image, bring it down so it's lined up, and increase the size of my picture just a little bit. Line that up. So I double click on the picture, grab the side in order to increase the size of the picture. And so once I like it, again, I'm going to save it. I'm going to come back over here. Oh, and now I'm noticing everything. Oh my goodness. So I can bring this, I'm just going to click on the actual box. Make my box a little bit bigger. And then double click on the image to make the image a little bit bigger to fill the box. And then same thing over here. It's amazing what you catch once you're once you make a PDF of the page. All right, so once you love it, you save it, go back over to that pancake stack right there, do preview and print, high-res PDF of the spread, and then take a really good look at it. You can print it if you'd like. You can download it right here, send it to your editors if you want to. You can print it and really take a good look at it. Make sure that everything looks good. And then when you're done, you can X out of this and submit it. So you're going to complete the page right here. And it asks you if your spread is complete. Once the spread is complete, it will be ready to send to Balfour. You say complete spread, and it'll pop up with any warnings. If you have text overlapping the gutter, or if the image doesn't fill the entire frame, it'll give you the warnings right here. It'll actually pop up over here too. These are your warnings. So you can go ahead and fix those before you submit. And then you will send it to Balfour. This completes the page. That little paper airplane just means that we are all set, ready to go, and that will send that to Balfour, and we will we'll complete that page for you and print that for you. So there you have it. That's Encore. It's really simple, easy to use, and as I tell my students frequently, nobody taught us how to use our smartphones. We just figured it out. This program is very similar to that. There are a couple of buttons that you push, and once you dig into them, you can find out all sorts of cool stuff. But it is so user-friendly that I think you're going to really enjoy playing around with it and learning new things about it. There's so much you can do with this program, and I think you're really going to love it. So I want to show you, just before we go, I want to show you a really cool Encore book. This is the North Kansas City High School book, Blank Slate. And I just want to show you all the things that you can do in Encore. What a pretty book. I love this, love the dominant photos. You have these sidebars down here, nice eyeline, beautiful spacing. Love the dominant photos. These lines. There's so many things that you can do with an Encore, and you can create such a beautiful book. So please make sure that you take advantage of the education materials that we have on Studio Balfour. You can certainly ask your rep if you need any help. And it's, like I said, it's just fun and easy to use. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming to this session. And I look forward to seeing all the beautiful, incredible Encore books that come out of it. Take care, you guys. Bye.